Hello and welcome to another Draw With Me video. Today I'm going to be drawing some images that will finally be used to turn into stamps. So join me for the process. So first I have a little scroll through Pinterest to grab some ideas, and then I get straight into Procreate. So I chose the A4 paper and make sure it is on CMYK colour profile, because that is for printing, and I like to choose the 6B pencil to do a sketch layer. And usually I like to sketch with a red because it's quite a lot less harsh than sketching with straight up black on white paper, because sometimes I get a little bit scared of a blank white page just staring me in the face and it's a bit overfacing. So if you use a red pencil, it's a lot easier. So I just tried to stay pretty loose and sketch in a bunch of different things. My theme today is camping and summer camps and all those good vibes that you get sitting around a campsite and a campfire. Here's all of my sketches. If you tap with 2 fingers on the layer, you can lower the opacity. On a new layer, I grab the technical pen and then change it all the way down to black. I have slightly edited the pen options, the pen tools on Procreate, so that it has slightly more of a rough line, so it looks like it's done by hand with a real ink pen. And then I'm just going over all of my lines and neatening them up and making the line art. Sorry that you can see my reflection sometimes in the iPad. Oh my god, how embarrassing. But I've now got a paper-like screen protector, so hopefully you won't be able to see a reflection in the next iPad video that I do. So like I said before, all of these images will be turned into stamps, like ink stamps, kind of rubber acrylic stamps. I'm actually doing this for a company called The Card Hut, which I work with quite closely. They will be released and sold on the television on Create and Craft channel. So essentially you can put ink on them and then stamp them, and they're used for crafting and card making and all those good things. But alongside these stamps, the special thing about the Card Hut is that they also make a USB which contains over 100 images of my work and little sentiments like happy birthday and things like that. And then you plug it into your computer, and they've got a graphics program on there, so basically a bit like Photoshop or Procreate, and then you can make so many cards and then print them off, or print off the bits and make your own cards. What I'm doing is licensing this artwork out to the Card Hut, and then they use it in their products. Because these are made into stamps, that is something that I have to bear in mind when I am drawing the images. It influences how I do the shading for the images. See here, I'm doing a lot of lines and hatching to create shading, instead of doing maybe shading with the side of a pencil, that kind of thing, or gradient work. Because with the lines, it can easily be turned into a stamp. And then it also shows crafters where to apply the darker colours when they've stamped it, if they want to colour it in. looks pretty smooth how I'm drawing it here, and everything is going pretty fast, and it looks like I did it all in one take, but don't let that make you disheartened if you think when you do drawings it takes several goes, because between all of these clips I am erasing stuff so many times and pressing back and everything before I get the perfect line that I want. But obviously you just show the best parts in this video. Another thing that I like to do if there are multiple components to an image is I like to put different parts of it on separate layers, like for this tree, so that I can easily just go back and erase parts of the trunk or something if it's in the way, without having to be really technical about which parts I'm erasing. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is select the line work layer and press reference, and then create a new layer and put it underneath your reference line art. And then when you drag and drop a colour, it makes it so much simpler because this little icon pops up at the top of the screen, and if you press continue filling with recolor, you can just then tap on each bit that you want to fill, and it makes it so much faster than individually filling in each section. But sometimes you do have to individually colour in each part. For example, on this string, it's left open at the ends. It's not a completely closed shape. I haven't blocked it off with a line at the ends. So if I filled that, it would just flood the entire page with colour. So that's why I had to go in and colour that in by hand. So I have tried to use a limited colour palette to make all of the images feel like they're part of one collection and make them all seamlessly fit together. So I chose kind of rustic reds, oranges, and then more natural greens and earthy tones because it is camping. And here is the final page with all of the colours filled in. So now if you make a new layer and insert an image, I have this watercolour texture that I use, and then change the layer to soft light, and then you can see that it puts this beautiful watercolour texture over the artwork. And I just put that on each image, and here are all of the finished images. Oh, also if anyone has any tips about how to not get this rainbow effect glare on the iPad, I would really appreciate if you leave it in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for another Draw With Me video. I hope you've enjoyed watching and maybe learned a thing or two. Thanks for watching!